Here with the big dog, Louis Allen, aka the Rhino, aka Mr. Metalback, I like to call him, the lower back of the gods, his words, not mine. How you doing, big man?
Yeah, all good, all good. Yeah.
So, as I said earlier, we are going to be smashing a big old quad session today, and this is probably one of the guys in the industry which is literally always pushes me beyond my limits every time, and I love training with him every time. It's like absolute beast. But that's not what we're going to talk about just now. It's going to have a little bit of a conversation about, like, Louis is also an online coach. As you're aware, we're going to have a little chat about different sectors in the industry, like how to get clients, little stuff like that. And I think something obviously you started to come into the industry even more now, like getting more clients, like making a name for yourself and stuff like that. So I thought Lou would be a good guy to chat to about that kind of stuff. So we've written down a couple of questions, a little bit of chat. So we'll start off with number one. How did you get into coaching and why?
So 5 or so years ago, I started obviously getting into bodybuilding a bit more. I was training in the gym before that. As that developed on, and I'd done my my personal training course quite a little while before that. So the natural progression was to take from what I was doing. I was working in the gym, and then I was also working in recruitment. The natural progression was to go across to personal training.
For sure.
So as I kind of progressed across to personal training and built my client base up face to face, I then had a couple of clients approach me about online training. So I did a lot of learning. I learned a lot from my coach.
How long ago was it when you transitioned from PT to online?
Yeah, so I've been strictly online now for just over a year and a half.
Nice.
And then before that, I was doing it for about 2.5 years combined with PT, so I had certain clients online.
So you had a bit of a transition period?
Yeah, for sure. My actual transition period was the first lockdown. So I had a good amount of in face-to-face clients, and then a good amount of online clients. And then as the lockdown happened, and obviously I couldn't see those people face-to-face, I began to transition fully onto because that was my goal anyway.
Almost like I spoke to a couple of my clients who are actually PTs themselves. We spoke about it. It's almost like you were forced to do it. You had to adapt, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But you were already had the wheels in motion.
The wheels were in motion. It was just I hate to say it because of how much it sucked for the world with lockdown and COVID and stuff. But for me, it presented a perfect opportunity and kind of forced my hand to do what I've been wanting to do anyway.
100%. Do you know what I mean, mate? I think. I said this to a number of people as well, with regards to what the business sector that we're in, it has helped our businesses. Of course, like you said, you'd never wish for what's happened to happen, but you've got to take opportunities when they present themselves, no matter what the situation is. So that kind of leads quite nicely to the next question, which was, what would your advice be for PTs looking to move online?
Yeah, so I think it's the perfect place to kind of earn your stripes. And build. Learn your trade, learn how to not just train people but be personable.
To be a coach.
Yeah,
right?
and to actually coach people and interact with people. And then for most PTs, you organically it will happen. People will start asking you nutritional questions and start asking you about different training things and any online bits that you offer as well. And it will just be a case of being able to just steer your business that way. But I genuinely believe most people would benefit from earning their stripes.
I couldn't say that. I couldn't say that anymore. 100%. Like a couple of people I know, people always say to me, you probably get it as well. How do I become an online coach? I'm like, do you know what I mean? If you have, you can of course do that if you're educated and you understand, you've got a bit of experience. But to have that extra experience of working on the gym floor, earning your stripes, getting in there early, speaking to people on the floor, because that's the way you need to learn how to speak to people, because you're going to speak to these people in that way online as well.
It's kind of like life in any avenue you go down in life, and you want to improve and you want to grow it and be successful. You have to create relationships. Like positive relationships. You have to build and learn how to have those within the industry you're working in, and also you have to begin to build a reputation, but you need to have testimonials, you need to have evidence of your work.
Definitely.
So that's only, you have to, I do genuinely believe going into an online coaching, you have to have some type of evidence of your working and your skill set, as not just yourself, but also in what you can create for other people as well.
100%, man. And I think one of the big things as well, when I speak to up and coming online coaches or PTs, is they all struggle from a confidence perspective.
Yeah.
Like, they almost like, and I've been there before, and you probably have as well, where it's called minimizing syndrome, or you minimize yourself, whereby you think, oh, I don't know enough, I'm a fraud, you know, why am I here? You know, but that's all part of the journey, because you're never ever going to start here, and you're never just going to be the best coach there is. It's all a journey, right? And it's all about how much you learn and process along that journey. So from a confidence perspective, and this is something I actually said to my brother recently. Obviously, he's getting into PT now, but he's trained for well over 10 years. So if you went, you know, a random person, or you went into the gym with Adam, and you're like, let's train chest, you take the session, he'd be like, yeah, cool, let's do it. But let's say if someone stranger came in and was like, can I do a chest session? You'd be like, oh, thinking, what should I do? What should I do first? How should I start?
Yeah.
You don't need to. People overthink it a little bit.
For sure.
You know?
For sure. And I think everyone within the industry that feels that way, the way you've just explained, you underestimate your knowledge, like you said, compared to
100%.
the person that's seeking out your advice.
That's how you need to look at it. If someone comes to you in the gym, even if no one knows everything, but you probably know more than that person who's coming to you in the gym, because they're coming to you for a reason, because you look the way you do. You knew what you do to get there. And you've probably learned a lot of things that are going to help you along that way, that are going to help that person too. And obviously there's, you know, different methods and stuff, but it's about learning what works for different people, and that's where that experience from the gym floor is going to give you that transition into the online space. So on to the next question. I mean, this is quite a good one. So regarding like marketing, getting clients, like how do you put yourself out there? What do you do to like get other people to want to coach with you? Because there's so many coaches out there. How do you differentiate?
I think for me it was about building it, like using the word again, but organically, building it up from being around people like yourself, you know, putting yourself out there, be willing to travel, train with people, seek out friendships within the industry, kind of grow that way. Never be afraid of create your own personality. Don't try to be like the other online coach. That's huge. Don't try and be like this person or that person. Create your own thing, because ultimately people are going to buy into that.
100%.
And they want you. They have to buy into something, and they want to buy into something that's real and personable.
Definitely.
So I think and also, no one's going to go from one client to 60 clients overnight.
Yeah.
It takes time.
100%.
And you have to, instead of thinking about the number of clients you've got, I think from the very beginning, create really solid, good relationships with the ones you have, and value their business. If you give them the 100% of you.
Always give them value. Think, how can I add more value? How can I offer a good service? How can I get them a result? Because if you're getting your clients results, you will get more clients. Absolutely, 1000% guaranteed. And going back to what you're saying about marketing as well, I think not even creating a personality, you portray your personality, like you just said, and it's so key to be able to do that. And now, talking on camera is not an easy thing. If you're new to it, it's not an easy thing, but just keep fucking doing it. You have to do it. You have to put yourself out there. I remember when I first started, I was like, oh, hey guys, what's fuck, let's do it again. Bleep them out, not allowed to swear on YouTube. But you know what I mean, it's all about and then now I can just do it, no problem, it's easy, it's not a thing. But like Louis, like he does his videos, and then he does them on the angle on his story, just the way, I know the way you do your stories, I watch it, I'm like, that's Louis' story. I know, like, he has his own little stamp on the way he does things, and just don't ever look at the way someone does something and think, I'm going to do it like that. You copy the thinking, not the way they actually do it, right? So just think about how they thought about it, think creatively, and then you can go and create your content that way.
I think consistency as well, like obviously anyone, you need to build a base, you need to build like a following, and consistency is going to be key, just like training, just like growing in the gym, just like getting stronger, just like consistency. You're not just going to be able to post one story and then get like 10 clients and just grow. It's consistency all the time, being
100%.
active, being present, being there, consistently posting, consistently giving content, consistently showing that. I think that one of the most important things that I learned was you have to be about it as well.
Sure.
You can't just sit there on a pedestal and dictate to clients what to do, and you've
got to be in the mixer, right?
You have to do it.
That moves me on to the last question. Well, not the last question, but another question was, do you think it's good to be a competitor and a coach as well? So like, we obviously both get on stage, and like you just said, we get in the mixer. It's like almost leading from the front, right? Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying everybody has to be a competitor, but I personally believe that you should lead from the front with your actions and the things that you do as a coach. Do you agree?
Yeah. For me, when I first picked a coach, and I'm with the same coach that I've always been with, I think that's important as well.
100%.
If you get on with someone, stick with that person and really go for it. So I think a big part of picking that person is they're about it,
100%.
and I want that.
They inspire you.
Yeah, so I want to be like that.
Definitely.
So I'm going to do that.
Definitely, they inspire you.
Yeah.
Even like some of like, for example, some of the older coaches nowadays, they may not be about it now, but they were about it.
Yeah, and they've got that massive evidence base of that massive work evidence of what they've done.
Yeah.
So of course, and they've made a name. But if you're
Definitely.
in the middle of making a name, I truly believe you have to be about it.
100%, mate. I think that's a good point to kind of end on and wrap things up, because obviously man's got to go train quads. But I think we could talk about this all day with regards to, and we'll probably come back to it again, and we'll touch on it in different videos and stuff. But with regards to marketing, online coaching, getting yourself out there, one of the most important points that you made then was consistency. Just be consistent over time. Don't get down if you don't get clients all the time. It doesn't matter, it will come over time. If you just concentrate on the service and producing good results, over time you will get to where you want to be. But yeah, just patience and consistency, right?
100%.
Big man, should we go get some quads?
Yeah, let's do it.
Pleasure.